Welcome back, Focus Learners. Look, if you're tuning into this explainer today, I'm betting you're highly successful. But the byproduct of all that success is a literal avalanche of communication coming at you every single day. Your customers have questions, potential buyers need answers, people are sliding into your social media DMs, and honestly, it feels like everybody wants a piece of you. Well, today we are going to look at exactly how you can finally get out of the inbox, safely hand over the customer service reins, and get back to doing what you actually do best. Let me talk directly to the founders out there for a second. Is your success actually becoming a trap? It's incredibly common to hit this wall where you just can't manage all these incoming requests anymore. When you're trying to be the CEO, the marketing department, and the frontline support team all at once, your success morphs right into burnout. Outsourcing something as critical as your customer service is a really smart move, but there is definitely no one-size-fits-all magic bullet here. Deciding how to do it and who to hand it over to needs to be a very carefully managed process. Okay, let's dive into this. We have a packed explainer today. We'll quickly cover the cost of bad support, 3 massive customer service trends, choosing your communication channels, hiring the perfect rep, and then finish up with exactly where to start.
All right, Section 1, the cost of bad support and the high stakes of service. Let's get right into it because we really need to understand the financial reality here. You might be thinking, hey, I'll just find someone cheap to type out some replies. But what happens if they do a terrible job? Based on a massive study by PwC, the data is kind of staggering. Nearly 80% of consumers are prioritizing speed, convenience, and friendly service. But look at that huge 59% slice. That is how many customers will literally walk away from a brand they absolutely love after just a few bad experiences. And that 17% group, they are gone after just one single bad interaction. One. You aren't just losing a quick email exchange, you are losing that client's revenue for good.
But, hey, let's flip the script and look at the upside. 65% of US customers say a positive experience with a brand actually influences them more than great advertising. No way, right? But it makes total sense. Your customers are smart, they know their time is valuable, and they absolutely won't sit on hold or wait days for an email reply. So by investing in a genuinely friendly, super efficient support experience, you are essentially building the most powerful marketing engine available to you today.
To really get why this matters, let's do a quick time jump. Back in the 1960s, we had call centers with real, live operators. Then the 90s brought us interactive voice response. You know, those robotic menus where you have to scream representative at your phone just to get anywhere? The 2000s gave us social media, and the 2010s was all about AI chatbots. Every single one of these was supposed to make things more efficient. But honestly, we've gone completely full circle. Consumers are frustrated. They're totally jaded by robots. Today, people just crave real, actual human connection. Which brings us to Section 2, customer service trends and what consumers actually want.
So what do people want from you right now? It really boils down to 3 things. First, listen and act. Sometimes your users see things about your product that you just don't. Collect that feedback and actually do something with it. Second, personalize the whole shebang. Introduce yourself, use their name. If a customer doesn't have to spend 10 minutes re-explaining their entire history with your company every time they reach out, that really stands out. And third, be omnichannel or, better yet, opti-channel. You've got to give them the optimum experience by being accessible on the platforms they already hang out on.
Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 3, choosing your communication channels. Because if you need to be where your customers are, how do you decide where to actually invest your money?
Okay, what about the good old-fashioned phone? If your business involves talking people through really complex problems, you might still need a phone line, but you definitely do not need clunky, expensive hardware. Enter the soft phone. These are software-based phones that just live right inside a computer or an app. Tools like Bria give you visual voicemail, video calling, and full CRM integration. It's a massive, hardware-free upgrade that your new outsourced rep can fire up instantly from literally anywhere in the world.
Next up is the help desk. Think of tools like Zendesk. It takes all those messy requests and organizes them into neat little tickets for your team. But here's a quick reality check for you. A lot of smaller companies do perfectly fine with just a standard email inbox. To the customer, an email and a fancy help desk ticket look exactly the same. You really only need to spend money on a help desk when your team grows or your support volume gets so crazy that you need advanced features like triage and labeling. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that 63% of consumers say they are way more likely to return to a website if it has live chat. It just sits right there on your site, ready to go 24/7. It's incredibly convenient, and entry-level tools are sometimes completely free, or just like $15 a month.
Just a quick heads up though, if your outsourced human isn't awake, working at 3 a.m., you've absolutely got to use auto responses so people know when they'll get a real reply. Then there is social media support. Statista found that 47% of U.S. consumers view brands a lot more favorably if they actually respond to complaints on social platforms. But listen, this is a major double-edged sword. There is literally nowhere else that exposes you so publicly. If you decide to open up this channel, you absolutely must have a dedicated message manager. You cannot let a single angry or upset comment slip through the cracks here. But if you want to know the absolute best, most bulletproof place to start is email. According to data from SuperOffice, email is the reigning champion. It gives you a 56% effectiveness rate for keeping customers, which completely crushes social media's 37%. Plus, 38% of folks still prefer email for simple stuff because it's familiar and it feels secure. Seriously, if you are figuring out where to begin your outsourcing journey, email is your ultimate square one.
All right, shifting gears, here's Section 4, hiring the perfect rep and nailing that human element.
And this brilliantly illustrates the paradigm shift you need to make right now as a founder. Look at the difference here. Reactive service is what everyone is used to. A question comes in, the rep answers it, boom, transaction over. But the perfect hire? They practice proactive service. They focus on the actual relationship. They know exactly what keeping one customer happy means for your bottom line. A proactive rep doesn't just clear out the inbox, they practically pay for themselves by creating fiercely loyal clients.
That right rep is going to be totally relationship-centered. They won't just bulldoze in doing things their way. They're going to let you lead on brand voice. And most importantly, they master the art of asking good questions. Genuinely asking a customer something like, "Hey, are there any other concerns stopping you from moving forward today?" is absolute music to their ears. It proves, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that a real human actually cares about them. Okay, home stretch. Section 5, where to start, featuring your actionable steps.
Here's your concrete outsourcing roadmap. First, do not overcomplicate this. Start with just one emotionally intelligent, highly reliable person. Second, like we talked about, begin by outsourcing your email support first before you even think about live chat or phones. Third, establish which metrics actually matter to your business. Fourth, write down your standard operating procedures, your SOPs. You got to get that knowledge out of your head and into simple templates. And finally, master the tools you already have before you go swiping your card for shiny new software.
I want to leave you with a provocative thought to really chew on. Take a second right now and honestly ask yourself, how much extra income could you generate if you weren't stuck doing customer support? Because every hour you spend resetting passwords is an hour you aren't scaling your empire. Reclaim your time. Use this roadmap, start outsourcing, and you'll not only build way better relationships with your customers, but you'll finally get the freedom to truly grow. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.